Ah, RIP. Le problème ne vient pas de moi, bien évidemment. Je pense que c'est ok. Koch Primetime. Ouais, non. On va voir.
Hello there guys, my name is Opal Cadman and welcome. Today I have three main tasks. The first one is to introduce you to Koch Media's brand new premium gaming label. Number two is to take a deep dive into some of the games coming to that label. And finally, number three is to show you what the new label will be getting up to in the streaming world. I want to welcome streamers who are co-streaming this today. Hello. Some of you guys are guys who I have looked up to and watched for many years. And speaking of people who I've looked up to for many years, I am so proud to introduce Jeff Keighley, who will be helping me co-host us through this entire list of games. Jeff, how's it going?
Thanks, Opal. It is so great to be here with you for the first ever live stream from Prime Matter. I was honored yesterday to reveal the label to the world at the Summer Game Fest kickoff event. And wow, you've got a lot of games there in that sizzle, over a dozen games. So I know today you're going to go a little bit more in depth to talk about all these games, to talk to a lot of the developers. But for those of you that might have missed it yesterday or just want to see it again, let's kick things off with a look at that announcement sizzle reel for Prime Matter.
Sometimes I ask myself what it all means.
Let's begin.
Is that who you are?
My purpose makes me who I am.
I finally have the feeling we're doing something worthwhile.
Being relied on to succeed where others would fail.
Prime Matter.
Yes, guys, you just saw 12 games and counting. And that's just the start for Prime Matter. But before we get into these incredible games, what I like to call the juicy bits, I want to talk to you about what Prime Matter is and who we are. Prime Matter is the new premium gaming label of Koch Media. It dedicates itself to delivering a range of immersive and diverse games from amazing development talent all around the globe. It highlights the varied influences of global studios and their different approaches to game making. The new label will lead through creativity and expression with games that enthrall players with larger-than-life storytelling, create incredible moments, and above all, they're fun. The team behind Prime Matter is a melting pot of incredible talent, led by seasoned industry veterans and complemented by a young, fresh, dynamic team of multicultural gaming experts. The team behind are gamers at heart, working with such a wide range of passionate developers producing games together by gamers for gamers. And that being said, for all you keen-eyed individuals out there, you would have seen that one game was actually missing in our 12-game lineup for Prime Matter during the video. That is a game that comes from the Embracer family itself. Jeff got to sit down with Todd Hollinshead and talk all about Painkiller.
All right, you saw the news yesterday. Yes, there is a new Painkiller coming, and Todd is joining me now to maybe give us a few more details. I know this is kind of a fresh project for the team at Saber, and you guys, first of all, I love that you and Tim Willits are there, continuing to build out Saber. And Painkiller was a franchise. You and I are both OG. We remember it was it probably 15 years ago at this point?
Yeah, it's been a while, closer to two decades than one.
My God. All right. Well, but it's one of those classic games. Let me ask you from a Prime Matter perspective, you've been in the industry like me all those years, and we remember that game. Why was this a franchise that you guys wanted to sort of bring back?
Well, Painkiller, when I played it back in the early 2000s, this is a game that had, it was dark, a little twisted, intense, cool guns. These are the things that, kind of hit the nail on the head of what appeals to me in a video game, both as, as a fan and then also as a publisher at Saber. So, we're hoping to capture those same sort of elements and bring those into the new game.
Yeah. You guys are certainly masters of doing shooters from all your time at id, and Painkiller does have a lot of that DNA of fast-paced action with a little bit of a twist to it, and the fact you guys are working with Prime Matter is also exciting. Brand new publisher, brand new label. What do you think of the fact that they're doing this label, and it's such a diverse lineup of companies and partners around it? I know you guys work with a lot of publishers, but it's pretty exciting to see a new label announced. That doesn't happen every day.
No, it doesn't. And, I think that within the Embracer group, it's just a business that is growing. We've got great leadership at the top. And so Koch Media is, wanting to expand their publishing. And I think that, the name they chose, Prime Matter, sort of is, it's sort of like the primordial soup of putting together stuff from nothing. So,
Yeah.
it kind of makes me think of this is what we do when we make video games. You start with Pixel Zero, and then at the end of the day, you make a game. So I feel like that, that kind of resonates with hopefully the type of experiences that we're going to be providing, not just within Prime Matter and working with them between Saber and our partnership, but across the Embracer group as well.
Yeah, no, it sounds like they have a lot of games in development, but the fact that you are bringing back Painkiller is really exciting. And I know, fans, of course, want to know a little bit about, what's the game going to look, how's it going to play. Probably can't share a lot of details about it, but you're kind of in the early stages of development now on this.
Yeah, super early, and if anything that I would share, I'd probably get assassinated for back home once I get back to the developer, because all these the first stuff that comes out almost always gets sort of iterated on and changed, and so we're trying to keep the lid on the details until we have something that's going to be really awesome to show.
All right, well, we will be waiting for it, and we know with you involved, it's going to be something very special, fast-paced action, I have no doubt. So, new Painkiller coming soon from the team at Saber, published by Prime Matter. Thanks, Todd.
Thanks, Jeff.
I really can't wait to hear more about Painkiller and the fact that Todd and Tim and the team at Saber are working on it. I think we're going to get something pretty special when they are ready to share more. So, exciting stuff in that sizzle reel, Painkiller, Payday, but I know there's a lot more we're here to talk about today as well, right, Opal?
Actually, Prime Matter has 12 games under development right at this minute. We're so excited to show you guys what us and the developers have been up to. However, before you see some of the content that we show you today, I do have to make it clear that some of this is pre-alpha, alpha, high-level concept, and some of it is about to release right around the corner. So please keep that in mind when you're viewing today's show. That being said, how do you guys feel about a psychedelic third-person survival horror game set on what it means to go on a journey about self-enlightenment and what happens when it all goes wrong? I got to speak with the developers of The Chant, work in progress title, about their game and who they are.
Our game is about a group of people who go to a spiritual retreat to seek enlightenment, and they basically get a little more than they bargained for. And your character has to deal with her own personal issues as well as the cosmic terrors that become awakened.
Cool. So what type of genre is this game?
And it's a bit hard to pin down with the with all the different influences and styles of gameplay, but I'd say we're probably a survival action horror game.
Okay. Cool. And what was the thinking behind that genre? Is it something that you guys like, or is it just it came left field? What's your decision behind that?
Personally, we always wanted to make a horror game. A big part of our core team have a background in third-person sandbox games, and we really wanted to combine, action mechanics, deep storytelling, and we felt that the horror genre was a really exciting space to take that background and play around with.
So, kind of sticking with the horror genre, why did you decide to go with that theme? It's not really like normally what you would see, this whole spiritual awakening thing. So what was the idea behind that?
We thought it was just kind of an interesting territory to explore. There is, there's a lot of influence from that with like folk horror of the 70s and giallo horror and so forth that really inspired us more from a film standpoint. And taking that kind of aesthetic, something that was very sensational, very colorful, and mixing it in with more action-oriented and exploratory game mechanics, we felt was a fresh take on the horror space.
So, kind of speaking about your inspirations and stuff, what video games, real life media has inspired you to create this title?
Well, going way back when Resident Evil 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. Alone in the Dark, Eternal Darkness. So a lot of games are very inspirational to us. Our game actually started off as a game with fixed camera angles and so forth, and then we over the course of development, just especially really focusing on bringing more of an action element to it. We've since switched to an over-the-shoulder camera and haven't looked back.
So kind of talking about changes and what you guys are doing on the development side, how close is the game to like the original concept? I understand you guys are still developing the game's quite far out, but from your original concept to where the game is now, how much has that differed?
The core story and I'd say the aesthetic and the themes, those all remain intact. I'd say our gameplay, as our team size grew, we added deeper mechanics. I'd say more action to the game. Our game actually has a fair amount of combat in it, especially on the melee side. Those were things that weren't too prevalent in our original concept, and a lot of those things are just kind of based on, you know, we're a very small team at first. We're still a relatively small team, but every new person that joins, you know, brings something new to the mix. So I'd say on that end, the game has evolved in you know, scope and depth of gameplay.
Awesome. Kind of sticking on that point of, you know, you got a small team, there's a lot of challenges that comes with that. What was the hardest part of making the game so far?
The hardest part was probably trying to make a game that you know, has, you know, more realistic production values, because that's where our background comes from, on a smaller scale and budget. So for us, we had to be very strategic, utilizing Unreal. We wouldn't have been able to build this game without utilizing an engine like Unreal. Previously, we had worked on more proprietary technology. And that's also great because, you know, new people that join the team can get up and running on the engine quite quickly. In addition to that, we've been using photogrammetry from the start for both our environments. All of our characters are also scanned actors, and we're using, you know, also tapping into a lot of what's going on in our city. Vancouver has a pretty big film industry, so really tapping into the film and the effects industry and tapping into that area of expertise to just kind of try to do things as efficiently as possible.
So you've mentioned like experience in the past and also kind of how rich Vancouver is. How much does that come in handy when you're working on the game?
Oh, it's been extremely beneficial. Vancouver, you know, is home to a lot of AAA studios. A large portion of us work together at Rockstar and United Front Games, and we also have people who have worked at the Coalition and EA, as well as some smaller independent studios as well. And in addition to that, you know, having the film industry here, where we can utilize, you know, local talent. We're working with union actors. We're scanning actors as well that we're using for our characters, and we're actually currently auditioning a couple remaining characters for the game, and as well as doing the finishing touches on our new motion capture studio. So we're going to be doing a full cinematics push over the coming months. That's a really exciting place to be right now.
Awesome. Sounds great. In terms of exciting things, when it comes to this game, what are you most proud of at the minute where you are?
I think the thing I'm the most proud of is just what a small focused team can do when they're all, you know, sharing the same goal and vision. You know, as I said earlier, we come from different backgrounds, but everyone's managed to come together and really deliver an amazing amount of work for the team size we have. And yeah, it's really exciting to be working on a smaller team again, and you know, just having that kind of energy where you know, you're working with everyone on the team day to day.
Yeah, I imagine that is a lot different to probably what some of you are used to coming from those massive studios. So finally, what are the benefits of signing up with a global publisher like Koch, and also, you know, being featured on their brand new label?
It's truly an exciting place to be. We've been kind of pushing our game as far as we could, and this partnership is really helping to provide more reach and more resources, but I think most importantly, also just having a partnership on getting feedback and helping to really expand and push the vision of the game. We've already received a lot of feedback on the title, and being a small team, we're often in our own little echo chamber, and you know, even in a short period of time, we've been able to act on a lot of the feedback, and the game has improved considerably since then.
Well, Mike, thank you so much for your time. It's been awesome to talk to you and find out a little bit more about what you guys are going to be offering for the new label. And I can't wait to let gamers finally get their hands on the content. So thank you for your time.
From psychedelic horrors to internet rumors, our next developer created the huge open world of Bohemia and took us on an adventure through the Holy Roman Empire. However, there have been some leaks that this action RPG may have a home on the Switch. Opal sat down with Warhorse Studios to try and get to the bottom of this.
Kingdom Come Deliverance on the Switch. That is quite some news.
Yes, that's true. Kingdom Come Deliverance is coming to the Nintendo Switch. And as you said, it's about gamers, devs, and games. In our case, or in this case, actually gamers play an integral part in the story.
What do you mean?
Well, some kind of confusion happened in the end of last year. We Warhorse Studios were preparing the release of the Kingdom Come Deliverance Royal Edition on PlayStation and Xbox, but someone most likely ticked the wrong box in Japan, and it looked like it's going to be released on Switch as well. Of course, by that time there was nothing existing like that. We were not even thinking about the possibility that Kingdom Come Deliverance could go on the Switch. However, Nintendo Japan took this information, some Japanese media, and then the snowball started rolling. All of a sudden it was the talk of the day. Kingdom Come Deliverance is releasing on the Switch, but as I said, nothing like that was planned at all, and we didn't even think about that. Now, a few months back, and we think it was still somehow cursing around in the Nintendo database, Nintendo of Spain posted a picture on Twitter where they had different pictures of open world games, and they were promoting already existing open world games on the Nintendo Store. And if you clicked on the picture, actually there was nothing like Kingdom Come Deliverance, of course not, because as I said, nothing like that is existing. However, again, it created confusion. People were talking about it again, like, okay, so is it coming, is it not coming? But for us, actually, and as I said, we didn't think about that until that time. For us, we started to think there's a lot of interest, there's a lot of buzz, people are actually talking about us, reaching out to us, like they seem to want Kingdom Come Deliverance on the Nintendo Switch. So we started to think, and since we are already in the Koch Media family, or the Embracer family, and there's a lot of talented studios, so is Saber Interactive, and who but them would be actually capable of bringing the Kingdom Come Deliverance version on the Switch. So we sat together, and now we are here talking about the Nintendo Switch version on Kingdom Come.
So what you're saying is that a community of gamers made this happen?
More or less, yes. The community feedback we got, of course, was a big drive for this entire project. But this comes from our general background. So think of the Kickstarter project we had in the day. So without the community, there wouldn't be any Warhorse Studios or any Kingdom Come Deliverance. So we always try to be very close to them and working together with them, and even coming up with crazy ideas together with them. So for instance, the Savior Schnapps, our own liquor we created later, was actually a community idea. We have our own beer brand. We recently released a blue brick set, like a building set for Kingdom Come Deliverance buildings. And now one of the latest projects is the Kingdom Come Deliverance soap bar, which should give you the real medieval smell. In that case, I must say, medieval smells actually pretty well. And we are coming up with crazy stuff like that all the time. Our next new merchandise project is a Farkle boxed board game, kind of. So Farkle, for those who don't know, that's like this Kingdom Come Deliverance minigame, a dice minigame you can play in the game. And now with Griffon Studios, we are coming up with a boxed version you can get and play Farkle at home against your friends or against your family or whatever. So that's pretty cool if you ask me. But generally, if you're interested in these kind of stuff, just check the Warhorse Studios social media accounts. You get all the information you need there.
Ooh, my favorite, soapy hot news. Speaking of soapy hot news, how do you feel about Warhorse being under the new label Prime Matter?
It's a huge honor, of course. We were working together with Koch for over 4 years already. In 2019, we then even became part of the entire Embracer family, so that was a big thing. And now being able to take part at the beginning of something new, be there when there's a new label being created, that is a big thing for us. And especially if you consider that we come there as an established partner already, that is really cool, and we are looking forward to a bright future.
Thank you very much, Toby. We cannot see what Warhorse has got cooking. However, until that time, Toby, goodbye!
So are we. Thank you very much, and see you.
From internet rumors back to reality, we will have more on Kingdom Come Deliverance for Switch as we get it.
All right, let's move from RPGs to FPS games. Final Form, which is a working title, is an action-packed sci-fi adventure where you play the role of a humanoid avatar of a sentient spaceship sent on a mission to the edge of the known universe to battle an unstoppable plague. The game is still a long ways from completion, but here's a very quick peek at what's in store.
Hi, we are Raycon Games, and what you have just seen is the first glimpse of our upcoming game codenamed Final Form.
Final Form is an action-packed, epic sci-fi FPS in which you are a female-formed humanoid machine on a space mission with no return.
At the heart of the game is a mystery and alien worlds to explore, but also an adrenaline-fueled combat. In Final Form, it's all about the freedom and power of movement, being a machine unrestrained by human weaknesses. There are numerous abilities and gadgets that come with your robotic body, so you can give yourself away to the fantasy of becoming an unstoppable cybernetic goddess blazing away in a spectacular ballet of destruction.
Raycon is located in Warsaw, Poland, with additional team members located all over the world. The studio was founded and is managed entirely by game developers. Since the success of Ruiner, we've grown quite substantially. Currently, Raycon is over 50 brilliant game creators, and counting. We are not a huge team, but what we love to do is to evolve together with our projects, constantly finding smarter and better ways to achieve something truly unique. We build our work environment just like we make games, aiming for the best results and personal fulfillment. We strongly believe that the well-being of team members needs to be taken care of first, before we can pour all of that love into a game. The partnership with Koch Media has been very fruitful and inspiring. We're happy to be in the avant-garde of the upcoming new label. We're looking forward to share more on Final Form in the future. And in the meantime, please enjoy the rest of the show and see you around.
I have to say, guys, I love the soundtrack from Final Form. Moving on to our next game, which is just as special. What if you took Lovecraftian and Gygax themes and mixed it all together with hardcore RPG elements? That's exactly what Massive Works Studios are doing. I got to sit down with their CTO to talk about their game, Dolmen. let's speak now to Gabriel Ferreira, CTO of Massive Works Studios, who joins us now from Campinas near Sao Paulo in the southeast of Brazil. So, Gabriel, what is Dolmen about?
First of all, it's a pleasure to be here and to participate. Well, so let me tell a little bit about what Dolmen is. Dolmen is that kind of game where the hero needs to save everyone from an alien threat. Fighting with all kinds of monsters and struggling to keep going forward. Yeah, that's the kind of game that Dolmen is not about. In this game, you actually save the drillers, which is the alien species that live on that planet, but you're going there to help a company save its investment. So you're not really the nice guy that's trying to save everyone. It's just a job. But we hope that the players consider the humanity, the greed, the war, and the spares and the challenges that come to mind along with that job. Taking all that part, and yes, Dolmen is also about fighting all kinds of monsters and struggling. After all, it is a hard game. It's a hardcore game. It's inspired on Souls-like, so yes, you're going to die a lot.
Awesome, thank you. So when thinking about the name Dolmen, obviously you guys went for that for like a very specific reason. What's the thinking behind the name? Why did you go for Dolmen?
So there was many things that came to our mind when describing the name of the game. Dolmen, which means a single chamber tomb, a megalithic tomb. We thought it would be a good word to describe this stone, this crystal that we have that is related to that. In many ways, everyone that deals with this crystal in the game is close to bringing problems to everyone that is around. And we wanted this to be the main piece of the game.
Cool, awesome. And now I know that people may or may not have heard of Dolmen before, so it is already out there in the world. But how long has it taken to get to this point?
Oh, it's been a long journey since the beginning of the project. We started at late 2016, so it's been almost 5 years now, and probably just a bit more to come out. But we and about our journey, if it wasn't the support that we had since the beginning, either our community, the Kickstarters, and you guys, I believe we would not be here right now.
Lovely. How have you been inspired by other games? You mentioned like the Souls-like obviously inspires it. You know, are there other games that inspire you? And also, what games do the teams like?
First of all, regarding inspirations, a lot of games came to us when we were producing the game and when we were first thinking of it. Obviously, we are really passionate and we really love Souls-like games. So Bloodborne, Dark Souls, those games were our main inspirations. But we drew inspirations from all different kind of sources. So we had inspirations in Dead Space, in Mass Effect, and also not only inspirations in other games, but also inspirations in movies and Lovecraftian stories. For example, Alien and Geiger, and those were our main inspirations. About games that we most like and games that our team likes, it's really hard to say because we have a team that ranges from liking Dota to CS and Souls-like games. But what I can really tell you is that every one of our team is passionate about the project because they love doing what they do, which is a hardcore game.
Yeah, and that makes sense as well when you get hands on Dolmen, all these inspirations that have come in. So the game is set in a sci-fi universe. Is there any specific reason you decided to go down that route? Was there any other routes that you considered at first?
Yeah. Well, the humans are afraid of what they don't know, and the universe has infinite possibilities. there is always something unknown that we can explore in space. So that sci-fi setting really was something that we could use to throw everything that our insane minds could come with. So we wanted to use the sci-fi as a tool to reach this goal, to present the player a world of unknown that he can fear and he can enjoy it.
No, absolutely. And while we're kind of on the point of humans and Earth, you guys are based in Brazil, which is awesome. Are there any specific challenges that you face during development because of that, or just in general?
Yeah, there were a lot of challenges that we faced along this 5-year journey. We obviously had to adapt our workflow in these late years. So 2020 and 2021 was a really challenge for us. But it was something that we could adapt well, especially because even that we're based in Brazil, we're not only based in a single location in Brazil. We have people spread across the country. So it was easy enough to overcome that challenge. But there were several challenges since getting development kits and finding people that are really capable of helping us to deliver this amazing game. And that's what we gathered, and that's something that our company appreciates the most and really gives value, is the people that we work with. They were really incredible people, and they were really rare over here.
Absolutely, that's really cool. Kind of on that theme of development and challenges, given how development and technology often dictates how a game evolves throughout its development, how kind of close are you to the original concept that you guys came up for Dolmen?
Well, there are different point of views on that answer, especially because we started really small. In the journey of the game, for example, it started as a concept from a few friends that get together and they brainstormed it for months, the game, diverged in two senses. And one of them, when we first started the game is huge and is insane and has a lot of background on it. It has all this universe around it. So a lot of it has been built. So people that loves lore and loves the universe that we are creating, they will have a lot to explore on that side. But the game from its original concept evolved a lot, especially now that we have more tools at our disposal. So on the tech side, it advanced way better than we imagined. Back 2016, we didn't have all the resources that we have now. So of course, we made some sacrifices here and there, and in order to achieve our goal, but we're never happy with satisfied that point of satisfaction. You know, we want to reach more. At the end of the day, this is also a game, and we are having fun. But on top of all, we want to make a brilliant game for the player.
Absolutely. And speaking about like making the game and the development of the game, seeing as you are lead programmer as well, what was the hardest part of making the actual game?
I believe that we could have gone into different options, especially, for example, we could have wanted to make it a game that was simpler or smaller or not have that many hours of gameplay. But we decided to go to a hardcore game, even that's a first game of our company. So we decided to go full in into that challenge. We faced a lot of challenges, as I mentioned previously, but I believe the hardest part of the game was finding the correct professionals and focusing on what we were doing. And, you know, keeping yourself focused for 5 years on a single game is something that is challenging for everyone, especially right now. So it was a difficult decision, but we wanted to make that. Regarding programming, and as a programmer, there's a lot of that I could keep talking and talking about. What is the harder? Multiplayer is always challenging, but finding that balancing fit, so the game that is not unfair, but is hard. So we wanted to aim hardcore players. So this was really something that was hard.
So you mentioned like 5 years of development, which is a crazy long time. How have you kept yourself motivated? How have the team kept themselves motivated?
I won't say that it was easy, because it wasn't. But I would say that most of all, we were always having these meetings in order to play the game. Even now that we are remote, we keep getting up every day and making a meeting and showcasing what we are doing and working alongside each one of us. Also, a lot of things that happened before COVID was the events. The events always made us super happy. So showcasing the game to everyone and getting the players to play the game and see how they react, it was something incredible for us. It really made us feel proud of what we were doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like everyone's missing that event feeling, right? When you actually get to see people on the games and you're like, oh, wow, everyone's loving our games. I think it's something that everyone is missing, definitely. Speaking of kind of motivation and happy times, what are you most proud of this game? What have you guys worked on that you're like, yeah, we did that?
I believe that the universe that we created is amazing. It has a lot of background from it. So for example, we even made some comics for it that we prepared. We have a lot of story, some crazy cinematics. So we're really proud of the universe that we created, this game that we made, and achieving what we did is what makes us feel proud. And now that we have partnered with you, getting to expand that universe and getting to get closer to our original concept and what we meant for it, that is something that makes us really happy.
Cool. Awesome. Speaking of partnership with us, what are the benefits of signing up with a global publisher like Koch on their brand new label?
That's really an amazing feeling for us. Koch really helped us and takes care of the operation that we couldn't make it for ourselves. They have an amazing team of QA localization, so we can reach different countries and players everywhere. We have a great producer that worked with us, helping us reach our goals and really deliver the game that we want. And without Koch opened the doors for us on that sense. And being part of this new label is a great opportunity for us, and also to know other game developers and expand the game community. And to meet you as well. We really thank you for this opportunity.
Absolutely. We are so happy to have you guys on board. And more importantly, I am so excited to actually let people play this game at some point under this new label. So thank you so much for your time, Gabriel. It's been awesome talking to you. And yeah, let's release Dolmen at some point under the new label. Thank you for your time and see you later.
Thank you. See you.
Now, the first title from Prime Matter will be the beautiful, highly anticipated King's Bounty 2. We have a first look at the gameplay trailer, and then Opal got a chance to sit down and talk with CEO Nikolai Baryshnikov.
the balance is off. Our land, Nostria, dances on the knife's edge of fate. King Claudius, my father, cannot lead, and his absence has set the realm in motion. Something is coming. Now the burden of the crown falls onto me. Nostria was flourishing, but there is unrest.
It used to be beautiful here. My wife and I had a nice life then.
Conspiracy, sabotage, necromancy. They all threaten this land asunder. But we must unite, for distorted terrors are advancing. Rumors tell of a false prophet, putting our hope in something that does not exist. A seer foretells that our Savior is among us. People of Nostria, you laid faith in my father, do so to me. We must look towards the horizon, fight back the darkness, and preserve the light of our land. For Nostria!
Hello there, guys. Thanks for joining me. And I am joined by Nikolai Barinshtakov from 1C Entertainment, who is CEO and creator of King's Bounty 2. So King's Bounty has been years in development and has a 30-year pedigree. So what is it that makes King's Bounty 2 so special?
The original King's Bounty was a grandfather of games of series like Heroes of Might and Magic. So it created these turn-based gameplay when we have a hexed-based battlefield and the troops are moving in turns, like chess pieces on the board. So I think that's the key, the cornerstone of King's Bounty.
Absolutely, and kind of speaking about that, and I know as you mentioned, the first King's Bounties was 1990, and then you had the King's Bounty that you guys created in the 2000s. What technical improvements, now that we're in 2021, are you most excited about implementing into the new King's Bounty 2?
Well, I'm a huge fan of the core aspect of the game with tactical battles. And if in the previous games, the battlefield was always a flat surface, so now we're bringing the battlefield into 3D. So we will have, line of sights, hills, like simple example, if your archers are located on the hill, they will do like extra damage for the high ground, etc. So moving the battlefield to 3D is a huge step forward. And then the whole role-playing part, the exploration part, we decided to move more towards games like, Fable or Mass Effect, kind of, epic, big role-playing games, as opposed to have a top-down isometric view of, tiny little character on a horse just galloping around the map. So we are moving towards this kind of epic fantasy adventure. Because this is not like a small indie title anymore. This is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, production we've done in Moscow so far.
So speaking of the other King's Bounty games, will this King's Bounty 2 follow the other stories of the games, or will it be a standalone title?
No, the game will not follow on any previous games. But even the previous King's Bounty, they all sort of like disconnected. There was like the main protagonist, there are a bunch of like, evil guys. There's like a small quest. And I would say that a previous King's Bounty, it was not like an epic RPG adventure. So the game was more about just battling random monsters on the map and solving some little quests. And then King's Bounty 2 is really, a epic adventure. We have spent like dozens of hours solving puzzles, working with different factions, making decisions that change the character and the world. So we're really moving much more towards, an epic RPG. However, this is a rare combination where our game, King's Bounty, is not an action RPG. It's not a Witcher game where you have to, quickly press buttons on the joysticks and battle enemies in the field. It's interesting crossbreed of a high fantasy role-playing game with a tactical strategy title, which I wouldn't. It's not like quote unquote was never done on console, but this is fairly unique combination for the console. And for me, like a great inspiration was a modern remake of XCOM, for example, because I was a huge fan of XCOM that was released in 1994, 1996, and the modern console reinventing of XCOM. This is something we're trying to achieve with King's Bounty, really make a modern game that works well on modern platforms, that works well with current understanding of gamers, how a game should look like. So we're trying to enhance it in every possible direction.
Yeah, cool, awesome. Kind of speaking about the story of King's Bounty 2 and how it differs, it appears to have a darker, more gritty aesthetic compared to its predecessors. What was the design philosophy around that? Why did you decide to go with that instead?
That's an interesting question. We've been debating on a design approach. And again, as I said, we spent a lot of time prototyping, working on the core gameplay and the looks and the art of the game. Previous game had this more cartoonish, kind of fancy indie look, but we decided we are now trying to play in different league. We're trying to make a much bigger title, a big game, an epic adventure. We've been, astonished by modern fantasy titles, both in Hollywood and in games, and we thought that this is a good idea actually to upgrade King's Bounty to what we call like high fantasy or like realistic fantasy. So it's not a dark fantasy like Kingdom Come when they're like dirty peasants, everything is bad. No, it's more like, as I said, like high fantasy. Epic characters. If there's a dragon, it looks like a dragon, not like a toy. If there's a villain, he or she looks like a real bad person. So that was the main philosophy. Plus, game development evolves, and I don't think that it's a good idea to take a game of 2008 and just make a replica with slightly enhanced graphics in 2021. So you need, especially for consoles, there's a specific expectation from somebody coming to the store or buying the game digitally or online. Okay, this is like a $49, $59 game. It has to look graphically and gameplay-wise like this. There's an expectation, and we believe that that's what we have to do.
Yeah, so we've mentioned that this game combines different kind of like ways that you can play the game, basically, from third-person RPG elements to this unique fighting system, this kind of chess-like fighting system. Kind of, why did you choose, with the evolution of game design and how people play games, why did you choose to stick to these hybrid game mechanics? Do you think that this is kind of what makes King's Bounty?
Absolutely. I think you got it spot on, so I don't even need to answer. King's Bounty is again, there's a grandfather of turn-based games. So if you remove tactical combat from King's Bounty, then it becomes, I don't know, Mass Effect or Kingdom Come. So so we can play around with evolution of this gameplay, make it more fun or realistic. But obviously, this is the core. So this is a tactical game with a lot of role-playing aspects and high fantasy aspects, and not the other way around. So again, gamers who like RPG with shooting elements, games like Cyberpunk, this King's Bounty is probably not for them. I'm sorry, it's a different game.
Yeah, and in terms of, we've mentioned kind of this new 3D world that you're creating when it comes to the fighting style, and then these RPG mechanics and making this world feel more alive and more exciting. What was actually the hardest part of you making the game? What took the longest time? What kind of caused you the most headaches?
Hard to say. First of all, this multiple platform game, so there are specific technical issues that prolong the development. If you make just, let's say, a PC title or just a PlayStation game, then you are not having a headache of porting to different platforms, getting different specifications, TCRs, approvals. So that adds a lot. And then secondly, the production itself, as soon as we went away from this kind of cartoonish, easy-looking isometric view into a 3D high fantasy and the production of assets. So we wanted to build like a huge map. We wanted to populate this map with a lot of characters that would just move around, go somewhere, have their own like stories. And we decided to, instead of having like text dialogues, we decided to produce a lot of engine-based cutscenes to push the story, to explain what's going on. So we even had to buy our motion capture studio. We worked with like a dozen of actors, and there are hours and hours and hours of in-game based cutscenes, which in the past could be just dialogues and pieces of text. That was another huge complication.
No, absolutely. And then the final question, what are the benefits of signing up with a global publisher like Koch and being on their brand new gaming label?
Oh, that provides us a lot of additional support because I'm not sure that all gamers understand how games get to the market. So making a game, writing pieces of code or drawing this amazing sketch of a dragon is only half of the puzzle. So it's like yin yang. You need a lot of support from production people, testing, localization, manufacturing retail units, putting all this units into the retail shops in the world, making mass market communications. So we decided to cooperate with Koch Media, that seemed to be the ideal partner. So we are on the market for many, many years. And I would say very honestly, I was personally a bit scared if we do it just ourselves, that we might not have the human resources to deliver the information about the game. The game itself, will work with all the platform holders as effectively as in a co-production and co-publishing with such esteemed partners, Koch Media and Embracer Group. So I'm quite happy.
Awesome. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for your time, Nikolai. And I cannot wait for people to get their hands on King's Bounty 2.
Oh, me too. Trust me, me too. After 2 years of development, that's going to be one of the most exciting days for me in 2021.
We have 12 titles. We keep saying it. And honestly, I shouldn't have a favorite. It's like picking between a favorite child. However, this next title speaks to me on a gaming level unlike any other. This third-person action-adventure shooter will keep you up at night tossing and turning with its horrific, nightmarish creatures. Think Alice in Wonderland meets Alien, or as one US journalist put it, Tomb Standing. Guys, sit back, relax, grab a pillow, because you get a world-exclusive look at Scars Above.
Good job. Dr. Ward, Dr. Yoshida, get to the bridge, please. Time to see what's inside our alien guest.
Telemetry check.
Telemetry check. Here go.
Wow. How is this possible? What planet is this? How did I end up here? Log entry. The gate has an internal conduction system. The 3 points on the rim seem sensitive. A targeted blast of electricity.
Mais c'est que ce jeu a l'air très sympa. Enfin, un jeu qui me titille.
The debris. It's from Hermes. It must have splintered off as it entered the atmosphere. Mira. It's still intact. that. Log entry. The creature has multiple salivary glands in its thoracic region that seem to produce a highly venomous secretion. Wow. The whole place is covered with some kind of organic residue. Looks like Robinson managed to connect the MPU to the pillar. This will help me get through that tissue webbing. And I'm taking the MPU. Who were the architects of this place? Did they build these towering monuments to serve a purpose, or as a testament to their might? Were they looking for answers, or solving a problem? Oh my God! This thing was huge. The appendages are dripping with the fluid that's freezing the water. There's the brain and the neural pathways leading to various organs. The pseudocerebrum seems to be generating an electrical charge. This neural pathway is conducting large amounts of bioelectricity. This gland is secreting the cryogenic fluid that's freezing the water. The cocktail of digestive acids is dissolving local plant life into homogeneous matter. The process seems to be aided by bioelectricity.
That really was something. And last week, Opal had a chance to talk to the developers, Mad Head Games, and ask them what their game was all about.
Hello there, guys. Joining me now from Novi Sad in Serbia is Ivan Zorkic, game director at Mad Head Games, who's going to tell us all about his new project. So, Ivan, what's Scars Above all about?
Hey there. Scars Above, well, an alien object appears near Earth. And a team of astronauts is sent to explore it, to do a close-range scan. However, for some reason that I don't want to go into now, this results in them in an event which causes them to be transported to an unknown alien planet. So our protagonist, Kate Ward, who is a mission specialist, she's an astrobiologist with a background in engineering. She's one of the members of the team of astronauts, of the team called SCAR team, which is Sentient Contact Assessment and Response. So she is on the ship doing the scan, and she ends up on this stranded on this alien planet. So one moment she's with her team in the ship, and the other moment she's on this strange planet alone. So she explores, she finds out that her team is also stranded on the planet. She has to find them first. And it seems that some time has passed. She doesn't understand why. And also the planet is very hostile. So there's a bunch of dangerous creatures, monsters, and everything seems to want to kill her and the rest of her crew. So she needs to find out what's going on, solve this mystery. How did they end up here? What does this planet want from them? And the story unravels, and she actually learns about the place and learns about the mystery behind it. But it's all about being stranded on this kind of scary, but also in a way strangely beautiful world, and facing a lot of nasty creatures and monsters.
Yeah. So it's kind of keeping on that theme of the realm of possibility and whatnot. How much in the game has its roots in the real world, and how much is just plain crazy sci-fi?
Well, it's mostly sci-fi, but the themes come from the real world. So they're inspired by the real world. I think the best stories come from the real world, even if they're, about, as I said, dragons or fairy tales, and of course, spaceships and space exploration. There's always this component. So on one level, Scars Above is about reason versus terror. And this is a very important topic to me, and that's a very real world topic for me. In our world, a lot of bad things come out of fear. And this fear, gives birth to some unreasonably dark actions, which lead to more bad things and more fear and more bad things. And in a way, Scars Above is for me, a metaphor for reason standing up against terror, science against darkness, knowledge against ignorance.
So apart from kind of staying within sci-fi, and obviously that kind of opening up the possibility that this can actually happen makes sci-fi what it is there any other important reason to you to keep, that sense of realism still there in the game?
So there is yes, there is a reason to keep realism, but I think the better word is to make it believable. So if you go for absolute realism, you're kind of limited on what you can tell, the story you can tell. It kind of is there is fiction element to the sci-fi, right? But we want to make it believable, and the reason why this is important is because I would like to create this what if vibe. I would like it if people actually ask themselves, what if this really happened? What would I do if I were suddenly stranded somewhere on this strange, far away from home world, surrounded with monsters and terrors? If you make this believable, people might actually think more about it. So we don't want to go super realistic. But we do want to make it believable so that, because immersion is really important, so that people get immersed in this world and start thinking like, what would I do if I was in this situation, and, what if this was really, like, what if this happens someday? What if an alien object does appear near Earth someday, and what would happen?
Absolutely. And then you mentioned the lead protagonist, Kate Ward. You told about her job title. What else about her? Who is she? Why is she?
Kate is awesome. We love her. So Kate is a very strong and very capable, but also a very caring person. So she's an astronaut. She's a scientist, a team member, a colleague, an explorer, and she always has like this childlike scientific curiosity. But one thing she is not, and that's a warrior, like a trained warrior. She's not a soldier, so she's not like a space commando or anything. And and she does end up in a situation where like she needs to fight for her life. So that's a theme that's kind of like really interesting to us, because the fact that she's not a trained combatant doesn't mean she's not capable. So she has like a strong will, a sharp mind, and she's very brave and tough. But like she's under tremendous stress in our game, and we want to show how vulnerable she is, how scared she is, how distressed. Because true courage doesn't, it doesn't come out of lack of fear. It comes in face of fear. So we do want to show this fear, and it's actually like this, the fact that she's overcoming this, like fighting her emotions, fighting all the stress, that makes her courageous, and that's great. So she gets frightened, she fights her emotions. She's susceptible to panic, which I think kind of makes her relatable. Like she's not like I'm all out of gum. I'm kicking ass and chewing bubble gum, and I'm all out of gum. Like that's not her. She is like her heart pounds, her voice breaks, she trembles. But then, and that's what I really like. Like when her voice breaks, when she's like really scared, but she like clenches her fist. And, the adrenaline kicks in and she pushes through, no matter the obstacle. And she does it using her mind, and using science and using her cunning to, craft these weapons and gadgets and survive against the odds.
Awesome. So you mentioned that, Kate's a team player and that Scar gets sent up. Who else is in the team? Who else are we going to be meeting on this adventure?
So she's a part of a 4-person team. There is the commander of the mission, Commander Robinson, Richard Robinson, and he's like a person with a military background, like a pilot, and an officer, and like he is the commander after all. But the rest of the team are mission specialists, because this is also kind of like the idea that it's this alien object appears, we send scientists and explorers trying to figure what's going on. So Kate is joined by her close friend Tamara, who is and also like a scientist and an astronaut, and by Mike, a little bit younger member of the team, but who is also like a communications expert, and like they're all scientists working together to solve this mystery. But Kate does get separated from them, and part of the game is actually uncovering the fate of her other team members, and I don't want to spoil anything, but Kate obviously cares a lot about her teammates and her friends.
Speaking of best feelings that you can have, what are you most proud of up to date of Scars Above?
I'm actually gonna give you a corny but very true answer. I'm most proud of the team. So like making a game is a huge effort, and it requires a lot of hard work, focus, energy, dedication, but also like cooperation, communication, support. So it's just like looking at a group of people working together on a common goal, that's really inspiring. And I think that's truly the case with any development team. Like when you ask them like what you're most proud of, and I keep thinking like one day in the far future, I may actually forget some of the details during the development, but I will always remember the people I worked with.
That's awesome. And then last question, what are the benefits of signing up with a global publisher like Koch and being on their brand new publishing label?
There's a bunch of benefits, but like, you know, having access to certain resources, to experience. This is a game, you know, with many firsts for us. So having someone to just like, you know, share thoughts and share the experience is really valuable. But, you know, on a personal level, I have to say this, and I'm being perfectly honest, like the biggest benefit for me was meeting a bunch of great people on your side. And I truly mean this, like it's a continuing pleasure to work with you, not just, you know, not just talking about the game or how we can make it better, but, you know, just like we talk a lot, as you know, like we chat about various things. Just meeting you guys, like it's a tremendous boost to what we're doing. And you know, I don't want to downplay like the obvious benefits, because there's a lot of them, like the, you know, their infrastructure, the resources. But, you know, for me personally, it's just like meeting and getting to hang out with you guys. That's really awesome.
Absolutely, and it's a pleasure to hang out with you as well, Ivan. And thank you so much for your time. I cannot wait to let people play Scars Above, because I know that we have so much fun with it in the office. So thank you very much. And yeah, we can't wait to see more.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to people playing the game. We're really excited about it. So, and thank you for this talk. Yeah.
And now for something completely different. When Brian Fargo himself, the granddaddy of top-down isometric RPGs, says he is excited about a game, that's gotta mean Prime Matter is getting something right. Encased is an isometric dystopian sci-fi RPG scheduled for release this autumn. And this new trailer, which we're unveiling today, should give you a pretty good flavor of what the game is all about.
It's 1976, and the future has arrived. But here's the skinny. We at Cronus need you. Cronus was formed after a dome-like structure was discovered 5 years ago. Was it from our ancient past? Was it made by aliens? Does it run on perfectly harmless nuclear power? We need to know, and humanity is waiting for you to help unlock its secrets. Descend into the dome itself and join one of our incredible research teams. The only question is, which wing of Cronus is the best fit for you? If you like taking orders, cracking heads, ultra-violence, and guns, lots of guns, then the Black Wing is for you. Can you build and repair incredible technology, but not expect any credit for it? You sound like an engineer to us. Welcome to the Blue Wing. Are you a doctor, scientist, mathematician, or any other type of brainiac? We've got you covered in the White Wing. Do you like taking credit for the hard work of others, but never do anything yourself? Those forms won't fill themselves. That's management, mister. And the Silver Wing awaits. Are you a criminal, prisoner, or have no discernible skills whatsoever? Then you're coming to the Orange Wing, like it or not. Are you ready for adventure? Are you ready to make the change with us? Are you ready to love it so much that you'll never want to leave? Then join Cronus and take the second giant leap for mankind under the dome.
That's not all. Opal got to sit down with the creative brains behind Encased. Check it out.
Let's go to St. Petersburg in Russia and speak to Vyacheslav Kosahin, creative director of Dark Crystal Games and the brains behind their upcoming isometric RPG Encased. So, Slava, what is Encased?
So Encased is an old-school RPG in the sci-fi post-apocalyptic setting, basically.
Awesome. So the name Encased is kind of, you know, it's a word and it has various meanings. What's the thinking behind the name?
The thinking behind the name comes from the setting of the game, from one main entity of it, which is the dome. The game takes place in the anomalous zone called the Dome, which was found somewhere in the last unknown desert on the Earth and on our planet. And well, basically people who get in there, various scientists, technicians, soldiers and adventurers, they can't get back. This is sort of a one-way road, so those guys who explore the dome, they are encased in there, which I think makes some sense in this regard.
Absolutely. Yes. So I know that you guys have been developing this game for kind of a long time now. How long has it actually taken to get to the point where you are now?
So we are developing the game for 3.5 years now. We started late in 2017 with some pre-production, but obviously we have thoughts about a project like this for years and years before that, before those crystallized in something, something that really exists. So it takes 10 years of thinking behind this game, this project, and 3.5 years of actual production time to this point.
So considering how long it takes, how do you guys keep yourself so motivated just on one particular title?
Well, we can't say we have any problems with motivation or our own, because for most, if not everyone on the team, this is the dream project that comes to life. So that's fine in this regard. The motivation is always high, but also we are in the early access, and we're really open with the community from the very early stages of the project. And because of this openness and talks with the community, and we have had a crowdfunding, and now we are in the early access, we have this constant feedback on the project, both positive and sometimes negative, which obviously keeps us motivated. If we would be on our own for those 3.5 years and some extra time we'll spend on developing this game, maybe the motivation could decline a little bit, but with those constant talks with the community, shared feedback, we're all good.
Awesome. And then kind of bringing it back to the game, given how development and technology often is basically dictates how the game evolves.
Parce que là c'est plus tellement intéressant. On va passer.
Hold on, you can skate, right? Whatever, you pick it up or not. Look, it's fine. Your skills, my connections, ain't nothing we can't achieve. There's a whole world out there to discover. It's time to shine, my humanoid friend. Let's roll.
Let's go.
Ollie world. Take a trip. Yeah, baby hopper. Big deals on tiny wheels. You need a board? You need a battery for that? Hello?
Brothers and sisters, you're hearing my voice because we have reached a crossroads in this war. We know now that no miracle is coming. That simply surviving is a slow death.
Ouais, c'est vrai que c'est un peu compliqué parce qu'on coule sous plein de conférences qui se déroulent en même temps.
That we will not win by holding our ground.
Je vais vérifier les jeux qui ont été présentés rapidos.
So much more.
Ah oui, d'accord. 40. Ça allait démarrer. D'accord, en fait, ça vient juste de démarrer. Ouais, ça c'est.
Both players.
On n'a pas loupé.
I'm a game launching. In your mind. Over at Gearbox, hard work at
We will not hide. There will be no retreat. Today we claw back from the brink. Today we make a stand.
Welcome back to IGN Expo! Yes, now you all just got a sneak peek of Sifu and World War Z Aftermath, among others. Now, I can ramble all day about how great those reveals were, but you know, why ramble when we got Bramble? Now, this upcoming game from Dim Frost Studio promises to take you deep within the dark and mysterious world of folklore. Let's take a look at Bramble the Mountain King. I gotta say, Brian, Bramble, that was something. I'm all in on this one. You can definitely, from now on, call me a brambling man.
Yeah.
I'm in Bramble.
Okay. I mean, yeah, the game looks really awesome. I just feel like you're really excited about the repeated stabbing thing. That seems like you're honing in on that specifically. You seem very into that, which is odd.
I mean, it's got everything that you want in a solid video game. I thought it was really awesome. I'm really excited for it, Brian. Just tell, what do we have next? Because I'm super excited, man. If Bramble was this damn good, we got to have something else coming up next that's just as equally, if not better.
Well, you know, whatever's up next, I think maybe we should pivot and have something with like considerably less chest stabbing. Maybe something like a little bit more chill, you know, something kind of relaxing.
So you mean like, how about this? How about like skating with birds? Like skateboards? Skateboarding birds.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's very, very specific, but that would be super chill. Yeah, let's do it. Skating birds, great.
Well, then you know what, Brian? I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to love this next game. Here comes Skateboarding Birds in Skatebird. Let's check it out.
Skatebird.
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 Vraiment là, c'est vraiment vrai ce que je suis en train de voir. Je n'arrête pas. Skatebird.
Wow, what a day. Well, that's all the time we have here on IGN Expo.
Wait,
I want to thank my hairstylist. I want to thank my...
Brian, hold on. Wait, are you insane, man? We're only halfway through. What are you doing?
Oh, wow. Well, this event is stacked with even more exclusive reveals and brand new trailers than I could have reasonably anticipated.
Clearly, and very well said, my friend. And we'll be right back with even more right after this break. So stick around and keep being part of our Summer of Gaming.
That's right. And I want to thank my agent. I want to thank my friends. I want to thank my uncle who taught me that wrestling isn't real. That made me mad when I was a kid, but I'm okay with it now. It only took about 60 years to get cool with that. But I want to thank the guy who cleaned the local pool.
IGN Summer of Gaming is powered by Duracell Optimum. All summer long, we're bringing you the game announcements, developer interviews, and all the demos you care about. So get comfortable and get ready to play. Upgrade your Xbox controller with Duracell Optimum batteries today.
Not only is IGN the world's biggest media brand for games and entertainment, but we also have a team of some of the world's biggest fans of your favorite franchises. From breaking news and exclusives, never-before-seen looks at movies and games, to reviews, Let's Plays, and live streams, IGN brings you all the coverage you need, no matter where you are. Whether you're on IGN.com, the IGN app, YouTube, Facebook, or Snapchat, we've always got you covered. IGN, the #1 source for all games and entertainment fans worldwide.
In a world with non-stop news about Marvel, DC, Star Wars, you need a show with accurate reporting, hard-hitting commentary, and...
Me, Akeem Lawanson, host of IGN's news show, The Fix Entertainment. Whether it's the latest superhero scoop, film fiasco, or anime announcement, I'll be here covering all the breaking movie, TV, and streaming news that matters most to you. Make sure to catch The Fix Entertainment on IGN for your fix of entertainment news. Let's drop it.
If you're not following IGN on social media, what are you waiting for? We're constantly updating our feeds to bring you the latest news, gameplay, custom original content, the best user-generated videos and art, memes, and a whole lot more. Be part of the conversation throughout the year. Follow IGN on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and Snapchat.
What's up, everyone? Sydney here to bring you a little update about the future of IGN on YouTube. We've been listening to your feedback, and it seems like some of you are more into games, while others are more interested in movies and TV. So we got to thinking about it and decided, why not both? Our main channel will still bring you all the biggest news, reviews, previews, and trailers to keep you up to speed on the most important highlights. But if you only want games content 24/7, head over to IGN Games. Movies and TV more your thing? Check out IGN Movies and TV. More channels, more of the stuff you love, more IGN.
I want to thank DuckTales. I want to thank Anthony Franco's Pizzeria in Paramus, New Jersey. Really good, really garlic knots, really, is what a lot
Yes, that's right, Brian. Well, you know what? Welcome back. This is still the Summer of Gaming, and you found yourselves knee-deep in IGN Expo. Yes, we are jam-packed with some of the most unique games you'll see first right here on IGN.
Speaking of which, you know what I miss most during quarantine? Helping and moving friends. I just really love unpacking heavy crap and lifting it up in the air. And if you're a weirdo like me, then you probably get the sheer joy of games like Power Wash Simulator and Teardown. Well, keep an eye out in our next set of trailers for Unpacking, probably the best unpacking simulator made to date.
Sure, yeah. You know, there's also like a bunch of other trailers in there too, Brian.
I think they're going to be most excited about the Unpacking one, though.
Okay, you know, well, fine. Well, let's unpack all the trailers, not just the Unpacking one, right now.
Pas trop en jeu, envie. Je n'avais pas tout compris, je vais être honnête.
Hi, and welcome to a very quick
Campus,
sneak peek look at 2 Point Campus.
annoncé
If
hier
you're not
lors du
familiar
Summer
with
Game
2 Point
Fest.
Games,
On le
think
retrouve
fun simulation management with a very particular
Point
2 Point
Campus fait par les
twist.
mêmes créateurs que
In
Point
Campus, you'll get to
Hospital, un jeu
design
que j'ai
and run your
fait,
very own
il y a
university.
quelques
But
mois.
rather than boring courses, we're giving you the opportunity to teach your students very unusual classes, like night school.
In this one, you'll be teaching your students heraldry, chivalry, jousting, and how to walk around in that really heavy armor.
Here we're building the training area for our prospective knights. We watched a ton of live streams of 2 Point Hospital, saw what people were vibing with, and we've added a ton of new creative tools for campus that will let you build outside, create new buildings, landscape, and place trees and pathways.
Here you can see some of our night school students warming up with some practice dummies. If they can nail their classes, they'll get themselves straight A's. But if they don't have everything they need, great teachers, great equipment, and of course a great social life, they may fail.
It's just a super quick peek, but that's just a taste of what's to come in 2 Point Campus, which is out in 2022. If you sign up on our website at 2pointcampus.com, you can get yourself a free in-game item when the game launches. Lovely.
Un jeu signé Capcom. Bien évidemment. J'ai pas tout compris. Mais ça a l'air cool.
Salve, friend.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Salve, friend. Mind telling me who you are? I don't think so. I've never seen you before in my life.
Somebody in this city is about to break the golden rule.
Some people say it's the creation of an all-seeing God who's watching everything we do.
Are you with me? Can I count on you to figure out who's about to break the golden rule?
How is it that you've just arrived here and you already know everyone and exactly what's about to happen to them? Salve, friend. I'm Galerius.
From a new dawn, a hero rises, torn between two worlds, yet part of none. It's your fate to free Nevendar. Disciples Liberation brings tactical turn-based battles into a dark fantasy strategy RPG. Find your place in a world of endless raging war between the four factions. Use your legacy to battle your foes, find loyal companions, and form a powerful army. Choices are what define us. Seize your destiny and liberate the land of Nevendar. Disciples Liberation. Coming soon to your PC, PlayStation, and Xbox.
You just saw the trailers for Unpacking, Disciples Liberation, Unpacking, and before that was The Forgotten City, and also Unpacking.
Yeah, there's a lot of unpacking there. Now, Brian, you might remember our next game made waves when it was first announced 3 years ago, but we haven't heard a ton from the team lately. Now, with that said, the little fox who stars in this Zelda-ish indie title still looks just as cute.
Akeem, I am so excited about this one. Let's check in with Tunic.
Tunic has been a darling of the gaming scene for several years now, and that's been its one and only problem. It's been quite a while since we first saw it, and it's still not out yet. The same demo has been making the rounds for many moons, but one-man developer Andrew Schuldeis's absolutely adorable fox and his Zelda-like adventure is finally almost ready, and we got an exclusive hands-on with the all-new E3 2021 demo that's coming to your Xbox on June 15th. Here are 5 reasons why this charming fox needs to be on your radar. Tunic's old demo didn't really make it clear how challenging the combat can get. In the new demo, which includes a slice of the overworld as well as one dungeon, you'll encounter a number of different enemies after you find, in order, a stick, a sword, and then a shield. From simple blobs to laser turrets to a giant bone monster that, try as I might with every power-up I could find in the demo, like ice bombs and sticks of dynamite, I could not bring down. I presume I'll be more powerful later on in the full game to come back and conquer it, but the demo makes it clear that there are going to be places that you probably shouldn't go yet, no matter how tempted you are to get through the doors the toughest creatures are guarding. Speaking of which, who the heck is this fox? What is going on in this world? What does the in-game language mean, and will I ever be able to translate it? And why are there help screens in the world modeled after old-school video game instruction manuals and strategy guides? I love the added sense of mystery and intrigue that Tunic brings that it absolutely doesn't need to. The gameplay would be just as fun and the presentation just as compelling without them, but they're there, and they make me want to play more to uncover the answers to those questions. Like any good Zelda-style game, there are secrets hiding all over the place if you look carefully enough. Schuldeis very politely requested that I not spoil any of them for you before you have a chance to play the demo for yourself, so I'll just say this. Put yourself in a Zelda mindset, and you'll probably have some good ideas of where to look. Schuldeis told me that there are 6 secret items hidden in the demo, which means there are certainly plenty more to discover in the full game as well. On this note, the new demo makes it pretty clear that you will not be completing Tunic in just one sitting. The one dungeon here has plenty of layers to it, and while you can save your progress at various shrines, doing so resets all the monsters. So there will be a constant tug of war between taking risks to progress and playing it safe. I do appreciate how there are environmental shortcuts that open up as you go, meaning that if you die, and believe me, you will die, respawning at the last save point means you won't have to walk as far or fight through everything all over again in order to get where you're going. But this world is clearly a big one, just like any Zelda-style game worth its salt. Finally, allow me to state the obvious. Tunic looks and sounds beautiful. The simplistic, colorful visuals lend Tunic a very playful visual tone, while the serene music adds a very pleasant, calming vibe to the gameplay. The combination of the two is fantastic. Tunic blends retro and modern in both the audio and visual departments in a way that gives it a wholly unique look and feel. I absolutely love it. And with that, I wholeheartedly recommend you play the Xbox demo yourself on June 15th, and after you do, I have little doubt that Tunic will not only ping on your upcoming game radar, but rocket up towards the top of your wish list in the process. While Shouldice still hasn't given a concrete release date for Tunic, there's more reason than ever to believe that 2021 is finally the year. For more on Tunic, don't miss more gameplay from the old demo, and for everything else in the world of video games, stick with IGN.
IGN Expo is just reaching its peak, so don't go anywhere. Right now, we've got 6 fresh trailers loaded up like a blast cartridges and a laser pistol aimed at the heart of your boredom. Because I know y'all get bored. Yeah.
Wow, they just shoot a laser pistol at the heart of boredom. That's an apt metaphor, Keem. It's also really dark and slightly messed up. Anyway, our first trailer involves a show I know everyone loves, Saint Ranger Things. Following the adventures of Saint Ranger, the only Texas Ranger to ever be sainted.
Well, Brian, actually, I'm gonna have to poke a couple of holes in your cloud here, my boy. It actually, that's a typo. It says Stranger Things.
Oh no, that's not a typo. I just can't read. Well, anyway, let's see what the Stranger Things or Saint Ranger Things team are doing in the world of Smite. Or Smitty.
Donc là on est sur le jeu Stranger Things.
Like cold, to the party, y'all don't want smoke. Energize the body, praise up the yard right now. Get in the car right now. Be the stars, I want it all right now. Just get in the car, fighting no war right now. Getting with y'all, I'm in the store right now. Put your feet on the ground, look around. It's the siege and we back in your town, burning it down. You know, give you what you been waiting for now. What you praying for? This the type of we slaving for. You are now listening to the greatest. Right now, tell me who you are, get in the car right now. Put your hands on y'all, I'm in the store right
Now that was the new game, Battle of the Bands. Now I can't wait for that one. That's actually being produced in part by The Living Tombstone, and we've got an exclusive music video from those guys you can check out over on IGN's YouTube channel.
You know, if IGN Expo were a Battle of the Bands, this would be the brief window between when each band plays and you can go buy an overpriced drink and use the bathroom and make a pee-pee.
You know what? Fortunately, you can still watch ads in the bathroom from your phone or your laptops. So take it to the toilet, y'all. Summer of Gaming continues after this quick break.
Don't take your laptop to the toilet, y'all. Don't listen to Akeem. Don't do that. That's weird. Come on. Like, how important is your job? You're going to bring your laptop to the toilet? Come on. Where do you work?
eBay. I'm trying to win something on eBay. It's an auction. Come on now. I'm trying to get a new NFT.
What are you trying to win the auction for, grossest dude? Because you already won. Ha-ha. Catch.
IGN Summer of Gaming 2021 is presented by USAA Insurance and Army National Guard. Pursue multiple paths while you serve. Reach your greatest potential with Army National Guard. And by the Amazon original movie, The Tomorrow War, exclusively on Prime Video July 2nd. And powered by Duracell Optimum, the official battery sponsor of Summer of Gaming 2021.
If you're not following IGN on social media, what are you waiting for? We're constantly updating our feeds to bring you the latest news, gameplay, custom original content, the best user-generated videos and art, memes, and a whole lot more. Be part of the conversation throughout the year. Follow IGN on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and Snapchat.
In a world with non-stop news about Marvel, DC, Star Wars, you need a show with accurate reporting, hard-hitting commentary, and
me, Akeem Lawanson, host of IGN's news show, The Fix Entertainment. Whether it's the latest superhero scoop, film fiasco, or anime announcement, I'll be here covering all the breaking movie, TV, and streaming news that matters most to you. Make sure to catch The Fix Entertainment on IGN for your fix of entertainment news. Let's drop it.
Competition brings out the best in all of us. Well, Well, mostly.
Oh, that's a controller break.
That's unfortunate. Welcome to IGN Compete, where we bring you the stories behind the esports headlines.
World champions!
From the triumphs
Daryl takes the game
to the hardships
It's not heavy.
to the miracle moments that will go down in history.
I just can't believe it!
It's crazy. It's all here on IGN Compete.
God, I'm in disbelief!
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to IGN Expo, part of IGN Summer of Gaming.
A whole summer of gaming, and we're dishing up hot trailers and plenty of them. Barbecue, summertime, sand, the beach, kissing under the boardwalk. All the summer stuff you love and crave that I just made up. But coming up next, we've got trailers for a Metroidvania puzzle game, a classic murder mystery, and a game where you finally get to fight Louis XVI's robot army. I hate them.
That's insane, man. You know, and we got many more on top of all of that. I mean, these developers are really, really freaking creative. Let's check them out.
That weird woman we saw when we played in the woods. She has a crooked nose with a yucky wart. It's just the long gray hair that makes her look old. But she's pretty young, actually. She owns a black kitty. She built herself a shelter out of wood and pieces of old cloth. I think it was standing on a chicken leg. It's made of gingerbread chocolate candy and a lot of icing. Or bones. She cooks in a big black cauldron over the fire. Probably bats. Spiders. Mushrooms. She can always smell a child when it's close. You want to know if all of that was real? Well, even if it wasn't before, it certainly is now. Am I seeing things? Or did she have a hunting bow?
Sorrow resonates through the kingdoms. I can feel it in the air. A fermenting thirst for revenge.
We train, we fight, to push our limits. But what are yours when you have nothing to lose?
And so the sheep becomes the shepherd, culling them to this fool's paradise.
What do you dream of becoming, Soren?
The immortals of King Shora will stop at nothing to preserve their immortality. Death makes no exceptions. Imagine what you could do if you were freeing them.
You lack the conviction to do what is necessary.
Fate is not so easily broken.
You continue to feed into this cycle of death. Your light doesn't deserve to fade just yet.
You remember our deal, don't you?
jeu qui m'a l'air très sympa.
The king left us no chance.
Ça se passe à Paris, en France.
They were too many, too strong, and made of steel.
The fighting was too one-sided. We were slaughtered.
The machines wouldn't even let me flee.
Paris burns and is lost, short of a miracle.
Now, you just saw trailers for Blacktail, Black Skylands, Still Rising, and Unbound Worlds Apart. Now, you can actually play that last one, the demo, right now on your Nintendo Switch.
And it's all a part of IGN Expo here on IGN Summer of Gaming. Brand new game trailers and reveals exclusively at IGN.
Yes, and in case 4 new game reveals wasn't enough for you, we have plenty more to come. And in the past, actually. That's right, y'all. Y'all need to understand. We're living in the middle of a vast time stream of trailers right now. Can you see them, Brian? Can you see the trailers? They're all around us right now, bro.
I can, Akeem, and that's because I hit my head earlier this morning. So yes, we've got 4 more game trailers to unveil, and we're going to do that without further ado while I make sure my friend Akeem here is okay.
Oh, yes, I see them, Brian. The trailers, they're everywhere.
Yeah, you definitely hit your head too.
Time is like gravity.
Ça s'enchaîne, les petits jeux bien sympatoches là. J'aime beaucoup.
Without noticing it.
C'est français, c'est écrit en français.
But then, it all stopped for me. Dear Journal, it's been a while. I think. And I am still unsure why I am talking to you when I am clearly the only one listening. I guess to keep some sanity. Well, you are still stuck. If you are starting to lose it, please don't. That's the only way we can get back. I'm counting on you.
Nanny?
Yes, Julia?
Sorti en 2022.
Here.
Oula.
So can I hear the story?
Là, je crois qu'on passe un peu à un jeu d'horreur.
But you always find that
Ça va la
story
toile.
scary.
Yes,
Je
Nanny.
connais.
But
Faut pas me la... On me la fait...
So I know nothing can hurt
On me la fait
me.
pas, moi, d'accord?
Oh, all right, little one. There was once a couple madly in love who would often stroll by a lake. But one day, in a fit of jealousy, the man drowned the young woman. Too much love brought death.
How can love also be so bad?
This is something you will learn with age, Poppet. The man confessed, So he was hanged in the middle of the very same lake where he had killed his beloved. They searched everywhere, but the girl's body was never found. Since then, the spirit of the girl, known as the White Lady, wanders restlessly in search of relief from her eternal suffering. Only the life of another young woman can give the lady a moment of peace.
That's always terrible to hear. I'll never get used to it.
You never get used to that kind of pain, my sparrow. But those in great pain can attempt to evoke the lady through a dark ritual and magic of the tarot. As the lady knows their suffering all too well, she could show them pity. Or she may not.
The catastrophe of 1986 was a great gift for humanity. One of the greatest.
What are you talking about?
I could tell you things that would turn your whole life upside down. But I don't want that. I can't have you falling apart. Don't you understand? I need you.
What are you saying?
I need you here. You're going to help me save her.
Igor.
Chernobylite opened a door to something that will change the history of mankind forever. Forever!
We can be together, Igor, but you have to learn the truth if you truly want to find me. You cannot succeed alone, but there are others who will help you. This is it, my love. The last stretch. You've been through so much for me. Make sure you're ready, because it will take everything you have. Your wits, your strength, your plan, your companion's loyalty, everything. Good luck, my love.
You know what? What a fantastic show full of great new games to look forward to. I'm hyped for each and every one of them. Now, we just saw new gameplay footage from Broken Pieces, Martha is Dead, Haunted Space, and Chernobylite. Now, I'm personally looking forward to Sifu, since Absolver was a really unique game.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I'm personally looking forward to Bramble because I have some deep-seated issues with my dad that I need to work out.
Yeah, yeah. You know, well, we really went for, I think we went for like all killer, no filler this year with these trailers, which means you barely had to hear from us two. So you're welcome for that. And don't forget, y'all, E3 coverage starts tomorrow.
That's right. And if you're just joining us, sorry you missed the entire show. Your clock is broken or something. Sort it out. But yes, Summer of Gaming continues tomorrow with the Ubisoft Forward Conference. So be sure to join us all as we break down the biggest reveals all E3 long.
Not to mention conferences from Square Enix, Xbox and Bethesda, and Nintendo Direct, all happening next week. So hit up IGN.com for a full schedule. The Summer of Gaming continues as long as there's gaming in your heart and Mario in your sunshine. Yeah.
That is really weird, but that was also sweet. I love you for that, Akeem. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. You're awesome, and goodbye.
Take care, y'all.
IGN Summer of Gaming 2021 is presented by Army National Guard. Pursue multiple paths while you serve. Reach your greatest potential with Army National Guard. And by the Amazon original movie, The Tomorrow War. Exclusively on Prime Video July 2nd. And powered by Duracell Optimum, the official battery
Bon,
sponsor of Summer
il n'y a
of
pas eu la
Gaming
perle rare.
2021.
Il n'y a pas eu la perle rare ce soir, mais on a espoir pour demain, où les hostilités commencent.
Not only is IGN the world's biggest media brand for games and entertainment, but we also have a
Du
team of some
coup,
of the world's biggest fans
à
of
demain
their
tout ça.
favorite franchises. From
Pour
breaking news and
commencer
exclusives,
avec,
never before seen looks
je crois
at
que c'est
movies and
Ubisoft,
games,
je sais
to
plus.
reviews, let's
On
plays,
verra.
and live streams, IGN brings you all the coverage you need, no matter where you are.
Demain.
Whether you're on
19h.
IGN.com, the IGN app, YouTube, Facebook, or Snapchat, we've always got you covered. IGN, the #1 source for all games and entertainment fans worldwide.
Everybody loves watching a speedrun of their favorite game, but what if you got a chance to peek into the mind of the developers behind those games as they watch their hard work get completely destroyed right in front of them?
What is happening right now?
That's exactly what happens on every episode of Devs React to Speedruns. We invite you to ride along with the developers as they watch, react, and enjoy some of the craziest gameplay by the most skilled speedrunners on the planet. Tune in every Saturday for a brand new episode.
Competition brings out the best in all of us. Well, mostly.
Oh, that's a controller break.
That's unfortunate. Welcome to IGN Compete, where we bring you the stories behind the esports headlines.
World champions.
From the triumphs
Daryl takes the game.
to the hardships
It's not heavy.
to the miracle moments that will go down in history.
I just can't believe it.
It's crazy. It's all here on IGN Compete.
God, I'm in disbelief.
In a world with non-stop news about Marvel, DC, Star Wars, you need a show with accurate reporting, hard-hitting commentary, and
Me, Akeem Lawanson, host of IGN's news show, The Fix Entertainment. Whether it's the latest superhero scoop, film fiasco, or anime announcement, I'll be here covering all the breaking movie, TV, and streaming news that matters most to you. Make sure to catch The Fix Entertainment on IGN for your fix of entertainment news. Let's drop it.